Women Matters, and it's the very early November 2025. And we are coming together, 3 Germans and 1 Canadian today. And maybe we talk about, after these days, which were dedicated to death, the last few days, we could talk about something nicer. And let's see how it develops. And as we normally do, the weather forecast from Monia from Vienna. The check-in can be without weather forecast.
Yeah, in Vienna, the weather is slightly more chilly, but still very nice. And everything is blooming on my balcony, so I'm very satisfied. The leaves have been falling. We have heaps of leaves in our street. It's and this afternoon I was looking outside of the window, and there was quite a storm, and everything was moving, and the leaves were falling, and the birds and the squirrels. There was so much going on. Just looking outside the window, I felt tired. It was yeah. I had to avert my look and go inside, because right now I'm very much with Advaita and reines, a clear consciousness, so pure consciousness. And I'm just dancing around it. And sometimes I think I get it, and then I'm not so sure anymore. Anyway, yeah, as a topic, what brings me joy or what makes me feel alive would be a nice topic. I pass on to Gina.
Well, greetings from Canada. It's a bit of a gray day here, but it is 8 degrees. Our leaves are also falling. We've had a few quite wild windstorms, so all sorts of stuff coming from the trees. Like we have a big cedar, and all the brown parts come down, and then we have to shovel them into a green bin. And there's a lot. And I say we, but actually somebody else does all that work. But it's 8 degrees, so it's not bad, but the wind is a bit cold today. I have missed you. As you know, I went off to the south of France, and it was transformative because I got away from sitting at my laptop all day and working all weekend and too much school. So I did a little school, but mostly what we did is just enjoy the town. We were in a town of only 19,000. It's not a tourist town, although there's a tourist attraction on top of the mountain. But just walking the seashore in Cannes or in Nice and just really absorbing the beautiful colors of the Med and what people were wearing and delicious food. So just remembering that there is something other to life other than work and school. So that's my
Do you speak French?
Not as well as I should, not as well as I used to. My husband does much more bilingue. But it's hard in this part of Canada because we don't hear French here. We would in Ottawa, but no, it's losing. I'm still working on it. I still do every day a little practice, so I'm not going to give up. But it was, I would say the transition this time was a little harder because my ear was not as attuned because I haven't been hearing it as much. And so even when people were talking, I'm like, do I know what they're talking about? But in polite conversation, easy conversation, when it's on topics like groceries, ordering meals, that's easy. Yeah, that's the easy stuff. But yeah, I think I'm actually more disposed to Italian for some reason. So I'll pick that up again. Not that I'm Italian. Okay, is everybody checked in, or we're going over to you, Heidi or Gertrude?
Gertrude, do you want to make a summary?
A summary. How did my husband say after 6 months of treatment? He says, it's it's not bad, but it's how did he express that? So it's like it's not bad, but it's not really good. So he's in a I think the treatment worked for his cancer, but there's still lumps there, and so it's not complete. But he's in a very good mood, has a lot in his mind to do and find some new ways of making photos and not the exhausting part, like going to conferences and be there for 10 hours and 5 breakout rooms and things like that. So, and for me, it reduces what I have to do. And so I'm more into looking what, business wise. And so, yeah, it's a transition time, and but I'm very, very happy where we landed. So in March, it didn't look at all like that. So that's my, and I have some hip problems
yeah.
I have to deal with. But otherwise, I'm fine. And it's very dark here, and yeah, sometimes it's sunny, sometimes rainy, so it's very mixed bag here.
Winter is coming, and it's dark at 5 o'clock, more or less, and I don't like that at all.
No.
The last weeks, I did a lot of olive picking. A friend of mine, Dutch friend, he organized first here around the people who have olive trees, and we picked together, sometimes in 12, sometimes even in 16 people. Today I went there, but only for 2 hours. It was a new group, all Dutch people who come to work. And they were 12, we were 12, and then normally it's a nice meal together. Nice. No, I mean, simple, no, because you have to work and not to cook. But it's always nice to, when you pick on the trees, you have somebody nearby and chat a little bit, then you go to another tree and chat with somebody else, and it's really nice. It was a good experience. Normally I do it alone or with my helpers. They were here too. But then we went also to pick other people's trees. So it's a communal event and really nice. I liked it this year. But my friend, he is really, for 2 or 3 weeks, he is doing everything, organizing everything. So it's quite heavy. And the oil is good, despite we had a lot of flies. So, but oil is good. So that is more or less for me finished. And on Thursday, I will fly to England, and to visit my new man. So I'm really happy about that. And yeah, we will see how the relationship develops. It has developed in an incredible way. From the very first day on, there was this total understanding without knowing each other, but energetic-wise also. That was good, really good. And now we will see the nitty-gritty stuff, how we can manage that. But
where did you meet him?
He found me on the Martin Ucik dating site, which has been fused with another dating site, and I actually never went there. And one day I got the notice, somebody has written a message to me, and so I entered to see what it was. It was not him, but in this time he found me and said, next year I come to Italy. Where are you in Italy? I want to visit you. And I told him, and he has a friend quite near here, about an hour, and he had been there several times. And I said, why don't you come earlier? And, and then we immediately went on Zoom, and, you are smiling, Gina. Happy with me.
It's it's never too late for love.
Yeah.
Or even a really good like.
Yeah, I think it's still a good like and a good being together. I don't even know anymore what love is. I learn a new way of love without trying to cling too much and you know, all these things. Very good friendship, I think. And how it develops, we will see. It's just, I feel, and he too, we feel together like at home, let's say, you know. And if this is love or not, who knows? I mean, it's to be, I don't know anymore what love is. When I think about my Enya type 4 patterns, you know, that's definitely not that. This romantic, you know, that's not it. So we will see how it develops. Anyway, for the topic, what makes us be happy or well, I have this impulse now, you know, a new perspective, and I feel really like now, if he comes and to stay here, will not be immediately, we could create something together. And so far I was on hold all the time, you know, trying to maintain the surrounding and everything, but not without perspective what to do. And so we might do something, whatever, you know, but together, yes, alone. So there's now the chance to develop something in the outside world and in the inside world for sure too, you know. That's me. Check in.
Nice to see you, ladies.
And in a good mood, everybody of us, isn't it? That's really good. So what has happened? I know from you said it already, and I said it, I think. What is our good mood reason? What is yours? Dina, you say France, and what else?
I would say just coming back and, you know, just having that quiet time. I mean, my son and his daughter, our daughter-in-law came over. That was very nice. But I would say coming back and making the time for friends. So because of my focus on school, my friends have been waiting quietly in the background. And then I reflect on just how many people have been waiting and how I'm going to approach each week to include that friendship again. And so I have a good problem in that I have many to the schedule. And so, and when we get together, we do nice things like we go for a walk. I have a friend who's coming and we're going to have lunch here together, which I'll make after this. But just to be quiet and just to enjoy each other's company and to be grateful and to look out and be grateful that, well, we're in Canada and we're grateful for what we have. And just to stay focused on the beauty of what we have, yeah, versus what we don't have or conflict. Yeah, and it's much easier to do having reset that button in France. Much easier.
I just, when I'm listening to you, Gina, reconnecting with friends, this is quite a good thing. So I had a new friend coming over yesterday and we spent 5 hours together and did some energy work and a walk and nice. Yeah, she came for breakfast and stayed till, yeah, a lot longer. And I just read an article, so I have to go a little detour, about somebody said he realized that there are not only extroverts and introverts, but also outroverts or something like that. Yeah. So, and when the description came, I really felt myself like that's me. So extroverts, they love company, they love to be out there in the world, and introverts more by themselves. But I love to be with just a few people or one person and have very intense and deep conversations. And I've been to T. Harv Eker. I don't know if you know him, but this is a big guru in the personal development world, and I have done the training with him. And then there were 1,000 people in one room, and they all did the same. So like, big five and and I just, my whole system shut down. and I had to sit down and breathe an oxytocin breath. I showed you already. So to get so adrenaline is toxic for me. And so when I read that article, I thought, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I think I'm that person who needs like another environment. And it doesn't, I mean, I can be by myself, but I really enjoy company, but not party. It's not that I don't go to parties, but like, yeah. So, and that's having deep conversations with one or a few people. That's what really nourishes me and gives me joy, and why I come back for 6 years now or so. Yeah. No, 16 we started it.
I think. Can you say what it is? Tell me again the name, and because I feel very much connected with this.
Outro. Verted. Other. It's other. It's not intro. It's not extra.
Can you share
So,
the article then? That would be nice.
yeah,
I think
I don't know if I find it back, but yeah.
would be nice, because I feel the same thing. Today being with all these people is nice, but then I want to go away. I want to, be on myself and have conversations like we have. And as soon as there are 20 people,
Ambivert. So like the word amber,
Mhm.
AMBR. It's like
Ambivert.
AMBIVERT. Ambivert. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So there's lots of descriptions of it. So ambivert. Yeah. It's the
That's
balance,
nice,
I
because
guess.
I always thought I was introvert, but then in a certain test they said I'm a little bit extrovert, and I thought,
yeah, it doesn't fit neither. So yeah.
So it says just as easy cap, you like social gatherings, but you don't necessarily start the conversation, but you're happy if people come and talk to you. You're more likely to engage in long conversation. You don't like being alone for a long time, but you also get tired of going out regularly. You know how to blend in really well with both introverts and extroverts, and you have close friends.
Good. Yeah.
Why not? Ambivert.
What are
I mean,
you?
I think well, I probably fit it more into that category, because I think I have sort of that, I think I have a reaching out personality, but I think a lot of that has been taught. I've been taught to do it. And so it's not necessarily natural. It's a skill, but I can be very shy at times where I don't even want to pick up the telephone if I don't know the person. So I like this in between. I think it's just a little bit more comfortable. And yeah, so we used to always have really big parties, but then you never talk to anybody. And so now I like to limit them. And even for our Thanksgiving, we had 8, and all very interesting people, but there was 3 conversations going on in our living room, and it was this crossing. And I'm like, we all moved around and we all managed, but it was interesting that you had to make the effort to talk to the other people because there wasn't a single conversation. But I compare that sort of intensity to, which was long because it was dinner, but I will compare it to the limit of a 30-minute conversation I had with my sister-in-law. And I'll just say through magic because I like magic and energy. We talked in that 30 minutes about exactly what we needed without telling the other person what we needed. And it was about slowing down and not having to do things as quickly as you did in your 20s and 30s. So that drive, sort of like post-France, just to allow yourself the time to enjoy what you're doing versus feeling you need to rush through it. And she is a very, very extrovert, very AAA personality, drive. So for her, that's a learning. And for me, we're just sort of coming to terms with we both worked for IBM at one point, just coming to terms with this new level of what is our balance, what is our flow, and in 30 minutes, we tied it up and we're like, wow, short, but very, very connected, I'd say. So yeah, that's my recent experiences.
Yeah, I was just wondering how much we communicate on an energy level, because my daughter, she's now about 50 as well, and she came back from Carinthia for my birthday, and with lots of good news, exciting news, and she was up to here, and she talked and she talked and she told us, and after 5 hours I was sort of exhausted because just by listening to her, everything was nice and everything was really great news, but it's on an energy level. I'm I've become very sensitive in the past few years, and so I really try to feel what is the energy, what is doing me good, what is too much. And so I sort of retreated. I said, I just need a rest. And went to the other side of the room and sat there in my recliner and just listened to them from the distance, which was okay. So I'm very much watching out now for myself, which I have done most of my life. As you said, we had parties like, and I love doing it, and walking around and not really communicating with anybody, just small talk. And I couldn't do any small talk in German. I could only do it in English because when we were in a diplomatic circus. And when we came back to Austria, I sort of groped around. I had no small talk available. And I didn't want to talk to people on a deeper level because, well, I hadn't met them for 9 years, most of them, or some of them. And now I just know how to balance. So it doesn't upset me anymore if somebody doesn't go deeper, or it's okay. Everybody according to his reality tunnel, let's put it this way. Yeah, what brings me joy is knowing that I have a very good book waiting for me. That really brings me joy. When I don't, and then I now have started cleaning out. I'll show you now. You won't see. Yeah, there have been all these. We had to take them down, and now I'm going through them, and there is material in them. Oh, it really. I found out that I just bought something or copied something and then put it away. And I felt like I knew it, but I didn't know it. So now I look at it and say, should I go through it once more? No, that's too much energy. And yeah, maybe I should send it to Heidi. It's about the Tao of love. So one of these documents. So I really, well, maybe it's because I see how I developed, what I went through, and how it influenced me and how it didn't. So quite interesting, but it's challenging and it makes me tired as well. So I really try to keep my energy level constant and watch it very, very carefully. That's what I do. And yeah, it's the partner of my daughter told me, because I complained that when I go to the fitness center, I crawl to the fitness center and I don't really enjoy being there. And he said, yeah, it's like brushing your teeth. You don't really want it, but once you finished, you feel much better. And that's true. So when I go back, I walk faster and I know I have the feeling I have done something for my muscles. And so it's very nice. I like to talk to him. He sort of encourages my daughter to talk. I don't know why he does it, and she doesn't notice it that he encourages her. He just gives her a prompt or a feedback, and she goes on. And yeah, it's amazing. But they have been together now for, I think, 20 years or so. So they're really a good couple, and they just bought an apartment, and she changed her business. And now is working now on a higher level, and what she was trained to do. So that's city planning, actually, it's or the landscape planning, and she gets better salary. So she's really, yeah, she's fine. And I shall become a grandmother in June. And right now they call me Moma, so which is Oma and an M, Monica, Oma, Moma. And I said, I refuse to be called Murli, because once you are a great grandmother, it's Urli, and I don't want to be called Murli because it's a cat's name. So that's what, yeah, it's easy. And of course, you can't help worrying that everything will be fine, but I try to keep that down and just send positive vibes to her.
Due date in 2 weeks.
No, June next year.
June. Ah, of course.
It's just 2 centimeters. It's just this tiny. But she's so pleased, and of course he is very pleased. That's the funny thing, because up to now he sort of was holding back, and now he just, you can see.
You see the belly, yeah.
That's funny, yeah.
Yeah.
So this brings me joy, and as such, everything. My husband's condition, yeah, it won't get better, but at least it keeps stable now, and yeah, and we have a routine, what we do every day together and what we don't, and yeah, and he has accepted my Zoom dates, because he asked me every day, do we have Zoom today? I said, take a look at my calendar, it's all circled in pink, so that's my Zoom. Yeah, it's very nice. It's very nice to reflect on oneself, because I usually don't do it in that way. Yeah. Okay, Heidi, to you.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to the ambivert, because I was very bad in small talk. I really didn't want to do it, and I refused. And so I got quite isolated, let's say, especially from people here. Now I sort of have learned to do small talk, but it is tiring me. For if it takes too long, I have to go. And then I really feel that I draw back, you know, and I'm not interested, or at least I think I feel that I'm not interested and they must notice it. I'm getting silent. And then I try to find an excuse to go. But it was much worse before. I just was not interested at all. And I sort of judged the people for being, you know, so shallow. That has passed. I can now, for a short while, I can even initiate it with people. And in the bar, when I go there, I often initiate conversations also with people I've never seen before, just because they have a dog or I have a dog or something like this, you know. And sometimes they respond, but never for long. And I really see the energy level. You were talking about energy. It's really going down with me if somebody is talking only, or if somebody is talking too long and always the same things and you know. Instead, I can be completely tired, and then we have a good topic and we talk together, and afterwards I'm like this, you know. That's really. And it depends on the depth of the conversation and on what is interesting me. You know, if, for instance, in my family, when the children were small and everybody talked only about the children and what they're doing and this and this and this, and I don't have children, so I got so tired. And similar topics now too. You know, I can listen for a while, but then it's not interesting for me. Well, when we talk about maybe philosophers like Sonji does, no, I have no idea, but I still listen and I find it interesting, even if it's not igniting me into, you know, enthusiasm. But I think, oh yeah, that's interesting. I want to listen and to learn something, you know. But yeah, ambivert. I think this is the definition I take on too. Yeah.
It reminded me of the topic of our last salon, how a conversation is successful.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have the same language. If you don't speak the same language, it's very difficult. And language as a metaphor, because it reminded me that the Swiss two people from Switzerland, integral people, visited us in Vienna, and we hardly know them personally. But we had such a great conversation together, and we talked about everything. So just, yeah, that's so it's a sort of trust that the other one understands you, and that you can, you don't have to be afraid that you, give something you don't want to talk about actually. And that was very nice. And I also felt afterwards, I felt very bouncy, and
yeah, this is the sort of conversation I could do for hours. And I think about now Rupert Sheldrake and Timothy Leary and the other, which I've forgotten how his name was, when they met and had for hours and hours their conversations. When it's really interesting, I can do that for hours, really. Yeah. Also with us, sometimes we don't find an end, no? And we have the hour limit, and so.
Yeah, by the way, I get dinner at 7.
It's nice, but not yet.
Yeah,
In 15 minutes, you get dinner.
yeah, it's fine. I'm just thinking about what Monia said, the language. I did a seminar long ago. He called it deterministic screen. And he said it's like, if you don't know the words, the language of, like doctors know doctor language, or engineers know engineer language. And I guess I have a joy in, so when I studied nutrition, and home economics, so we had we were in 12 different faculties like guests. So chemistry and biochemistry and math and statistics and economics and whatever. So we learned 12 different terministic screens and then I studied facility management when I was in charge of the nursing homes. And there were another, like the technical, the economic part, and the service part. And I know that I can, this is it brings me joy when I realize that people feel heard because I know their language. And it comes natural because I was trained. I was trained in so many different, and it's not that I recall all the topics and all the content, but being familiar with their language, that helps me also as a coach to understand people better, no matter where they come from. And that brings me joy too, when they feel understood. And and if you don't have any overlap from so different worlds, and if you don't know the language, it's really hard to get into their world.
That's a little bit like it happens to me. It happened with Mark and now with Marcus. I'm not so good in English. I mean, I know English a little bit, but all these expressions, I have no idea. I often have to ask, and it feels like being in primary school because I don't know what it means. And myself, I feel so often the lack of being able to express myself as I can do it in German, and I'm looking for words, and then you talk all around to explain what you want to say, and it is sort of hindering the conversation when you don't have a good language base. I hope I will get into it again, because with Mark I was better. When we speak together, we were together every day and all the time, so my English was better. Let's see, but I see it as a handicap, my own handicap, to feel a little bit stupid when I don't get it, and to not being able to express myself. So the same language is not only energetic wise or how do you say, topic wise, but also the language itself,
But watch out and insist that it would be much easier to say that now in German, and then say it in German or in Italian or whatever. And because you are not stupid, but of course it looks like you're stupid, and you should avoid that.
I don't think the other person is calling me stupid or thinking.
No, but when you're talking to his
myself,
brother
like,
or whoever,
I can't express myself, Yeah.
So I'm really wondering how when meeting his brother, how this will develop, or won't you meet him?
I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to say what Mark realized when we talked English. We had all these shows in English and so on. And then he said, when you talk with the German people, you talk so quickly, you talk so differently. While in English, I'm slow, So that's, even if I know better English, it is not the same. When you don't learn the languages from childhood on, when you learn it later, I think some people do. They are very gifted, but I'm not gifted in languages, so it takes longer. And
I guess if you would live in London, you would pick it up much faster, because we lived in New York for 9 years and we dreamt in English. So
I do that sometimes too. And sometimes it depends what I dream, what it is about. Also in Italian. But in Italian, I have more or less the same problem. you know, it's not my language. I'm good in Italian. I can express myself and everything, and even a little bit more concrete. I did all the schools, the coaching school and things all in Italian. But still not this, not my language, where I'm really familiar and know how to express myself in little the difference between one way and the other, you know. And the native speaker, as I do in German, I get the little energy things which are in the words, you know, and the little sfumature, you say in Italian, little
Nuance in English.
What is it?
Nuances.
In nuance.
Yeah. And here it's nice. This says fumature. Fumare is to smoke. So the little smokes, the little differences, you know. And so, yeah, that's what it is. And I think in some level it's also, you don't even need words. I only am not I don't feel safe if I don't get the words, because I don't trust so much my energetic perceiving, or, you know, it's still not so much normal, no, that we communicate without words. So that will be also a learning curve for me.
And there is an in-between.
What do you mean?
That's speaking from the heart.
Yeah, I know. But, you know, in this case, Marcus is very, he gets a lot on the energetic level, very much more than myself. But then I need still words. So
I mean, like, that you don't think so much about the words, but really like feel the connection, feel your being, and feel the other, and then speak from heart to heart. And then the words just come out. When we do instant change, for example, you ask people what they want to change and how they want to have it. And when you're putting it in, when you speak out, it's like as if you're hooked into that place, and all of a sudden you speak more fluently, you speak more like it's completely different than thinking about it and what are the words.
I know this experience. Yeah, when I'm in certain situations, I'm very fluent, and in other situations, I'm like picking for words somewhere. Yeah. So it's not only linguistic capacity. I believe.
No.
Because the words, they are somewhere in the Akashic field or somewhere, but they are coming to you when it's open, no? And when it's somehow closed, then who remembers the words? Yeah.
I've often thought the ideal is to speak in your own language, but to be understood by others.
Say it again.
To speak in your own language so you can be more full, but then to be understood by the others, so that if the other person can understand you sufficiently, it's easier to speak in your own language. So you can, and makes it more comfortable to hear, let's say French and English, the French person speaking, if you can confidently answer in English, or franglais, as we say, where you mix your words and sentences, and somehow you get through it. But I think there is a lot of people you're close with, you can have a lot of energetic communication. And my husband and I joke that, you know, we only get in trouble when we speak to each other, because we do so much intuitively that we have a bit of a laugh with it.
Yeah, I think the better you know each other, you don't need to speak so much. Yeah. Telepathy, it also happens sometimes, you know, that just at the same moment, something arrives. Also, yeah, this experience I have too. But I'm really not yet trusting all these experiences, because they're a little bit woo-woo.
Woo is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you. And I think Gertraud, she gets a good evening meal cooked by her husband. And
I have a good chef at home. Yeah.
we let her
And
cook.
it's so nice when he loves to do that again.
That's good.
Mm.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah, that's nice.
And Gina, have a good day.
Thank you. I'm about to say goodbye to my husband who's leaving for Ottawa for 5 days. So thank you. And I have a friend coming over. So okay, in and out.
And Monja, good evening, good night. And
Good night.
you're in 2
Night.
weeks.
See you in 2
Bye-bye.
weeks, ladies. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.